Well, now that GoFest NYC is over, I would like to talk about my experience and my friend's experience also with GoFest NYC. Hi, I'm Pokemon Go trainer Electric, and for today, as you may have already known, me and my friends are going to be talking about GoFest NYC and our experience with the event. Well, they may not be here right now. They have agreed to send videos over of what they thought about the event. And my other friend also sent a text message, and I'm going to make sure to give a list of what his thoughts were about the event. First, we're going to talk about both the experiences, what we all thought about it. Then we're going to go over what shinies that we've caught during the event, what our highlighted part or our favorite part of the event was, and of course at the ending we're going to give our rating for the event. Basically, we're going to try to give it like a number out of 10 rating. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video for today. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to also leave your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts were about GoFest NYC, because I would like to know your thoughts completely. Don't forget to also subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to click that notification bell down below. That way you can get as many updates as you can about my videos. And also don't forget to follow me down into my social medias below. I have my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Twitter pages provided. So, now without further ado, let's review what GoFest NYC was like for us. So I'm going to go through what I think about this experience first. Honestly, I loved the event. It was an amazing event. To begin, first off, my overall experience, I think I liked the city experience more than the park experience. The city experience was just all laid out completely. Like, you could do anything from the city, you could go anywhere from the city. Like, it was a nice experience. And I liked Mega Rayquaza raids that were appearing all over the place. Like, that was so cool to do those Mega Rayquaza raids. The special research was amazing. I really honestly had some good opinions about the city experience. Like, walking around the area of Bryant Park was where me and my friends did, you know, NYC. So the city experience was obviously my favorite part of it. The park experience, it was alright. It wasn't like my favorite part of it, but it was a good experience. So basically what happened on Saturday, August 19th, and you guys, those who did the afternoon experience, as you may know, for Verizon users, a Verizon cell tower was not really working that day. And cell service for those who had Verizon were down completely. And it didn't come back again until around 5 to 5:30. So that was kind of like a disappointment right there. I liked seeing that the habitats around, I liked seeing how they structured out the habitats. Like, they had a real life working gym. They also had this thing for the poison swamp habitat. That was really cool. The cursed treasure was an interesting habitat as well. I loved the prehistoric volcano habitat. Like, that was a good build that they did. The team lounges were nice. I didn't really get to meet any of the notable trainers that I wanted to meet. I would have really wanted to meet Trainer Tips and Zo2Dots, because those two are my favorite. There are other trainers from YouTube that I would like to meet also. Hopefully the next GoFest event, if I'm lucky to attend to, along with my friends, I get to meet them. Because, you know, these guys are like, they're legends, I would say. And the merchandise store was a very long line when we got there. Like, I wanted to see some of the merchandise, but that line was just really long. What was also nice, they had a lot of hydration stations. They had a lot of food trucks that were there. That was good. If you're gonna be at the park, you gotta have at least some food trucks around there. So that was actually really nice that they had food trucks. But how we got to the city was through the ferry. And while it did cost money, it was actually really nice. It was nice to take the scenic route. It was actually Noah's idea to take the scenic route. So if I were to ever do a Go Fest like this again, I would probably want to do only the city experience. Because it also depends on like the location of where Go Fest would be. If I were to do this again, I'd probably just stick with the city experience because it's everything that you could do that walks around it. Just walk around the city, like that's it. Like that's what I would do. I'd do the park again, but I probably wouldn't do it for that long. But would I do it again? Probably. Let's just see what next year's Go Fests are going to be like. Or what I would probably do next time is probably just do like the morning park experience and then do the city for just the rest of the day. That's what I think I would probably do next time. Alright, next up, the shinies that were caught during this event. In total, I got a number of 38 shinies, and some of them are my absolute favorites. So let's go through the list of what shinies that were caught during Go Fest. So to start off with the city experience first. The minute that we got off the train into the city, this was the first shiny ever caught, and it is a shiny Yamask. Non-Galarian, just the regular one. This one I've kind of been wanting for a long time, and I've been trying to go after it every Halloween, but I've never gotten a chance of getting it. It's like really disappointing for me. But I finally got it during this event. Second shiny was a Thraw, so that was actually kind of cool. I already have this shiny, but it was nice to just get another one again. And then I get a Hitmontop. That's nice. That's a nice shiny that you want to have. Number 4 is one of my absolute favorites, Shiny Heatmor. Now, this one I was trying to get back in Go Fest of 2020 during the global event, but I never got it. I was a little disappointed in that one, but I finally got it during this year's Go Fest in NYC, and this I have been really happy. This made me really happy too, because I really love the color of Shiny Heatmor. It's like such a cool color. Now I don't have to worry about going into Europe or anywhere else just to get this shiny ever. This next one almost made me want to cry because I have been trying to get this shiny from Adventure Week, and I finally got a shiny Arkin. This was one that I have just been wanting to get for a long time. Ever since it first made its shiny debut back in 2022, now I finally got this one. And then I get an Aerodactyl with a satchel. Obviously, I didn't care much for shiny event Pokemon, but this one I actually liked. Following that, another one of these again. This was actually kind of funny to me too. Like, that's twice in a row that it happened, so that was actually really nice. Yeah, just getting like a shiny Aerodactyl with a satchel 2 times, very awesome. Like, very awesome. And then I get a shiny Spoink at that time. The shiny Spoink was pretty cool. I mean, I have the family set complete already, but I was happy with it. But nothing made me more happy than getting this next one. A shiny Shroomish. This one I have been literally trying to go after since Go Fest of 2022 and the Hoenn Tour. I never got this shiny ever. So I was actually really happy when I got this shiny. Like, this was a shiny that I had been wanting to get for a little while now. And I finally got it too. That was great. Through an incense, I did get another shiny Unknown O again. I did get this one back in 2020, and you know what? I really like shiny unknowns. Like, it's rare to ever find an unknown in the wild, but getting a shiny one during Go Fest of NYC was just great. And then I get a shiny Gulpin again, and another shiny Gulpin to follow after that. So far, those are the first 12 shinies that were obtained during the city experience. Now, let's move on into the park experience. Okay, so to begin first off, we did go towards the north entrance, which was when the cell service tower was out at the time. But the first shiny I got once I got reception back again was shiny Kangaskhan. And that was nice. I mean, I got this one back in 2021 during the Mega Raids, I believe. Or it might have been back in 2022. I can't remember completely, but I think it was. But I remember when Mega Kangaskhan did come out, I managed to at least get that shiny from the raid day. 3 actually from the day. but it was nice to see this shiny again. This next one I got was a shiny Zangoose. This was from an incense also. I was happy for it. I mean, I think I got this one through like a trade from someone, but I was actually really happy that I did get this shiny, which I actually did want to get. This next one I didn't really care for that much because I have so many of them already, and that one is Voltorb. Voltorb shiny is cool and all, but I think I would have gotten something a little better. I don't know why they put Voltorb in the athletic park anyways. Honestly, I think a different Pokemon would have fit better. But Voltorb's cool. Voltorb's a cool shiny. But nothing was as cool as getting this next one. A wild, shiny Lucario. The minute that I clicked on a Lucario from the overworld, I was literally screaming. And Zach was actually really jealous because he really wanted to get a shiny Lucario during the park experience. Like, through this whole event. But yeah, this was my favorite shiny gotten during the park experience. After a few moments during the unknown hours that appeared, unknown letter D became a shiny for me, and I finally got this unknown letter as a shiny. So that was awesome. Followed up again with another shiny Voltorb. That's nice. That's nice. I mean, it's fun. It's cool to see shiny Voltorb, but it was nice to get. After that, this one I was just literally like screaming and laughing at it because this was an unexpected shiny for me. That shiny was shiny Snorlax. I have gotten shiny Snorlax back in 2021, and this one, it caught me like completely off guard. Same thing happened to me again. Like, this one got me completely off guard. And this was actually a shiny that I would really like to get again, because it's rare to see Snorlax in the wild. I don't think it's like a 1 out of 64 permaboost rate, but it was incredible just to see this shiny. Cell service tower did get regained like after around like 5 to 5:15. So then when we go back, I clicked on this Darumaka. It became a shiny for me. And it's nice because I was also looking for this one because I needed to complete the family set. And I finally got this shiny to appear. This one I didn't really care for too much because it was shiny Pinsir, and during a safari zone back in 2018, I got like 9 of these during that event. Like 9 shiny Pinsirs. It was crazy. But it was nice to see this one again. I got my second shiny Arkin during the prehistoric volcano habitat. I was just so happy that day because this was a shiny that I was also looking for. So this is my second one that was caught during this event. And this one was also in the park as well. That was really nice. Like, really, really nice. Then another shiny unknown appeared again, and I got the letter N this time. This was actually a cool shiny to get. Although, I was actually looking forward to trying to get a letter A unknown shiny because my first name does start with the letter A. It would have been nice to get an unknown shiny A. But this was cool too. For that, another Aerodactyl with a satchel. This is my third one of these that I've caught. Kind of very lucky onto that one. Very, very lucky onto that. Then following up with another Zangoose again. And just as the park experience was coming to an end, I get another shiny Hitmontop. So that was actually really nice for the park experience. But now we move on to part 2 of the city experience. So after we got on to the ferry again, the game was still going, and I didn't realize that, well, Niantic was making more an incense. It was giving up more of the city experience afterwards. So I used incense for, of course, this event, the remainder of the city experience, and first shiny Slugma. This one was really cool, by the way. This was a shiny that I had already, but I liked seeing this one again because I love the gray color of it. Like, it was a really cool shiny to get. Then, as we get off the ferry, I then find another shiny Chimecho. I haven't seen this one since 2021, so it was cool to see that again. And I followed up with another shiny Chimecho afterwards again. That was pretty nice. That was actually a pretty nice shiny. Then, the following that, Seviper. That was a good shiny to get. I mean, I got it back in 2020, but I haven't seen like this shiny in a long time. Like, I haven't seen most of these shinies for such a long time. So getting this shiny was actually great. But not as great as my favorite one that's coming next. I finally got shiny Golett. I was screaming at the top of my lungs the minute I got this shiny. Because here's what happened. This was one of the shinies I was going after during GoFest of NYC. Of course, along with some of the other ones that I mentioned before, but getting this shiny was the highlight of my day. Although there was a better highlight to my day, and I'll go through that in a moment. I'll go through that after I'm done. Following that was a shiny nose pass. That one was actually kind of cool to get. I mean, I got it during like the searching for gold event, so that was cool too. But getting it again was also nice. I never got this during the during like the Adventure Week event of this year, but I finally got it during this event, and that of course being Tyrant. This shiny was one that I was definitely going after. I mean, I only managed to get one of these guys, but I was happy that I finally got this shiny, because this is one that I definitely wanted to get. I just love the color of it too. Like, the color of it was just amazing. I was literally screaming too. Now this next one wasn't really part of the event, but I guess I pretty much hatched this from a 5K egg. And this was a shiny Machop. Wasn't really that excited about it, but it's still a shiny after all. We got to the train station, another shiny Chimecho had appeared before me again. That was actually pretty nice. We did another Mega Rayquaza. I did another Mega Rayquaza raid that was close by, and wouldn't you know, another shiny of this again, and that was awesome. My friends were like completely jealous. Well, Zach was more jealous than Noah was, but he was jealous, but they were jealous. Noah also did get a shiny Rayquaza at that time, so that's what also happened too. But getting a shiny Rayquaza was amazing. And to finish it off, I got a Skrelp, which was also on that list, and following another shiny Skrelp. So that was actually really awesome to get shiny Skrelp to finish off for GoFest of NYC. A total of 38 shinies were made from that day, and it was awesome. I think that this might have been the best GoFest I have ever done in my life. With 38 shinies in total, I've never gotten that many shinies. The many shinies that I've got were during GoFest of 2020 with a total of 35. And I just broke my record with this event. So I was personally happy that I got it. Alright, now let's go over some highlighted moments. Some of my favorite highlighted moments that happened during the event. Okay, so overall, some of the highlighted events that happened during this NYC event wasn't just the shinies, or it wasn't just getting to do some of the cool raids. Like, I'd say some of the highlighted moments I got, there was someone that mentioned that there was a perfect IV Golett with a CP of 713. And I actually caught that Golett too. That was actually really cool to get a perfect IV Golett. Also did this trade with my friend Noah. We did Beldum trade. I did like some duplicated Beldum trains because I needed more Beldum XL candy. And he needed more Deino XL candy. When we did the trade, it became lucky, and it became a perfect IV Deino from my end. I was just surprised by that. I also caught about like 4 extra small Pokemon, and I think it was about a total of 5 to 6 extra large Pokemon. I can't remember how many of the XXL exactly, but I know it was a lot of those. I know there was a lot. But the best part was hatching some of my favorite Pokemon. And this was awesome. I had actually managed to hatch not 1, but 2 Larvesta on that day. Like, I really loved that so much. Just hatching Larvesta was incredible. I did have a third one, but I traded that one to Zach because he doesn't have one, and we were also lucky friends that day. So he gave me a Shelmet, I gave him my Larvesta. It was also really nice to give him that because he really wanted to get that Pokemon also. As you know, Larvesta is like a very rare hatch to get from eggs. But hatching 2 Larvestas on that day, incredibly rare. I could not believe it. I was just shocked by it. Also doing some of the raids with the city background from Xerneas, Yveltal, and Rayquaza, that was awesome too. Like, that's a lot of a big step up for Pokemon Go to do that. That was actually really awesome. So overall, how I would rank this event, I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say 8.5 out of 10 because while there were some great things that happened during Go Festive NYC, there were also some not so great things that happened. But overall, it was very enjoyable. But as I said before, like if I were to ever do an event like this again, I would probably either do the morning experience for the park and then do the city experience in the afternoon, or I'd probably just do the city experience just the whole day. Like, that's what I would think. Because honestly, I liked it overall. And having to catch the mythical Pokemon Diancie was awesome too. I also got a better IV Carbink as well, because I've heard Carbink was really great in the Great League, and I actually want to try it out for next season. So I'll see how that works for the next season. Just gonna stick it into Great League. Nothing really too serious. Overall, as I said, 8.5 out of 10 for the event. That's how I go out with it. Alright, now it's going to be Noah's turn to talk about his experience. What he thought about the event. Alright, so going off to what Noah said, overall he thought NYC Go Fest was a decently fun event. He enjoyed walking around Manhattan, especially checking out places like Bryant Park or the Empire State Building. That was actually really cool. Randall Island was also good for him too, but he preferred walking around Manhattan more. And the ferry ride was also really good too. Honestly, I can agree with that. I like the ferry ride. The ferry ride was really nice. And just walking around Manhattan and looking at Bryant Park and the Empire State Building, it was good. Really, really good experience. And just seeing a bunch of people also was also fun too. The shinies that Noah had caught were also similar to what I caught. He caught a shiny Rayquaza. He also got a shiny Skrelp. He also got unknown letter D. And he hatched a Kabuto from an egg. So in total, 4 shinies for him. The highlight moment for him wasn't really like about Pokemon Go, but it was more about walking around Bryant Park and listening to the random opera performance that happened to be there. And yeah, there was an opera performance. I heard it actually. It was a good opera performance. I could agree with him on that. His rating overall, he'd give the event a 7.5 out of 10. And here's what he has to say about that. Not enough drinking water on Randall Island. That's kind of true. And while there were a bunch of hydration stations, there was always a long line. That's actually kind of true too. Like, I was kind of shocked by that. Yeah, there was always a long line at those hydration stations. He's not wrong after that one. And also, the food trucks sometimes were often out of water bottles. There were not that many food trucks had water. That was actually disappointing too. Like, if they had to refill on water, yeah, that was just not good. The event in the game itself was actually somewhat interesting. He did like the NYC background skyline on the Pokemon that he caught from rings. But he also noticed that some of the backgrounds did disappear later on. And the shiny Rayquaza caught in Manhattan was also missing the background from his too. So overall, his rating was a 7.5. I could see why he'd say that. Like, yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with what he's saying too. But yeah, a 7.5 is a pretty good rating. Alright, now let's move on to what Zach has to say next.
Hello everybody, my name is Zach, and today we're going to be going over the Pokemon Go Fest 2023 in New York City. So I had the pleasure of going to Pokemon Go Fest New York 2023 with my good friends Alec and Noah, and overall it was a pretty fun time. Got to walk around New York, got to explore Randall's Island a little bit, but there were some problems that we'll go into a little bit. So first of all, walking around New York. I think this was the highlight of the day for me, just because walking around New York is overall a pretty fun experience regardless, and just seeing all of the raids fill up immediately. Like, there were Mega Rayquaza raids, Yveltal, Xerneas, some Mega raids, a bunch of stuff all over the place, and you would join it and it would fill up immediately. and that was great. It was insane. I've never seen this many people playing Pokemon Go at the same time since maybe like summer 2016 when it first came out, and even then, probably not even then. So that was probably overall my favorite part of the experience. I got a bunch of Rayquazas, got some Megas. That was the first time I actually got to Mega evolve a Pokemon on my own. I know Alec and Noah are a lot more experienced in this than I am. So that was my first Mega Rayquaza. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So yeah, it was good to walk around the city, see a lot of rare Pokemon, catch some shinies along the way. We'll go over those later. And then it was time to go over to Randall's Island, and this was kind of where all the problems started. So we get to Randall's Island. I think we were supposed to get there around 3, it maybe was closer to around 4. We were waiting at the dock for a while, and this brings me to, I think, my main problem with the event, which is I think Niantic didn't quite know, they underestimated how many people were going to show up to the event, because there was clearly not a lot of stuff for everybody, and by that I mean food and water. So if Niantic does this again, if you're going to go to that, my biggest piece of advice, bring a bottled water. They have refilling stations, but that was about it. Finding a bottled water was rarer than a shiny at this event. And bring food, because we got dinner around like 6 p.m. there. There were a bunch of food trucks around, and by that point they were out of pretty much everything except for a $20 plate of grilled cheese and fries. It was about yay big. So yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. I think Niantic didn't quite know how many people were going to be at this event, and they kind of underestimated it, and as a result, staying hydrated on a very hot day in New York was a bit difficult. And this also brings us to the second problem with it, which this was not as much Niantic's fault, but there was a Verizon tower outage on the northern part of the island, which meant that for a good portion of my time on Randall's Island, I wasn't really able to do anything on half of the area that they had rented out. Eventually it got fixed, thank God, but they didn't really tell us. I only saw it in like a spam folder in my email later on in the day when I just like happened to be checking, that they said like there was an outage, it came back, we're sorry for it, whatever. It's not their fault, just very annoying that you just don't have cell service at all, which isn't just a Pokemon Go problem, that's a using your phone problem, which is kind of big, but at least it was able to get back to it. We were able to get everything that needed to get done there. Overall, it was a pretty fun time, other than those 2 pretty big problems that came to us that were immediately apparent as soon as we got on there. But overall, it was a pretty fun experience. Got a lot of rare Pokemon, got 12 shinies, which is I think is pretty low for the 3 of us, but I'm happy. And the shinies were a shiny Aerodactyl with a satchel, so a special event Aerodactyl, shiny Shieldon, Pawniard, 2 Golets, Hitmonchan, Venipede, Venonat, Kangaskhan, Tyrant, Axew, and a second Shieldon. So overall, pretty fun experience. Got a lot of really cool shinies in the process. Got to catch Lucario for the first time. That's one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time that I didn't have in the game yet. But yeah, overall, I think it was a fun event. I do think the location may have been the biggest problem because, again, it was an island. So the food trucks were really your only source of getting any kind of food or water. I'd say next time, Niantic, rent out like Central Park or something. Walking around the city was probably my favorite part of the experience. Just walking around the city, because I think it's fun to walk around New York. It's a very, very fun city to walk around, and there's a lot of cool stuff to do there, and a lot of stuff in Pokemon Go to do there. There's raids on like every other block. And at first I thought that might have been a problem with finance, and maybe Niantic couldn't afford to like rent out Central Park, but then you think back and you remember, it's Pokemon, it's the highest grossing media franchise of all time. Of course they can rent out whatever area they want in New York. So I'd say for that, that's probably my biggest problem, was just kind of the area. It was a fun area regardless, but just be prepared. So yeah, that's my analysis of Pokemon Go Fest 2023 in NYC. Overall, I'd give the experience about 7 to 8 stars. We'll go 7.5. It was definitely a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun to hang out with my friends and catch a lot of cool rare Pokemon, but there were some glaring issues that kind of made the experience a little bit worse than it probably could have been. I think there are definitely some changes that Niantic could have made. I think if they decide to do an event in New York again, then maybe they should prepare for a lot more people to be there, because the island was pretty packed, and that was pretty cool to see. You've never really seen that many people playing Pokemon Go anywhere. But yeah, I think getting a different location, or getting more food trucks, or bringing more supplies, or even just making people more aware and saying like, hey, it's going to be pretty difficult to get a bottled water, bring a refillable bottle. We have a refill station, we have a hydration station. It has like water fountains if you need it, but it's mostly to refill water bottles. You should bring one. I think even that would have been a lot more helpful for the experience. So overall, pretty fun experience. Could have been better. Back to you, Alec.
Alright, so overall, out of all 3 of us, we have different opinions based on our experiences of GoFest for 2023, for NYC at least. We also didn't really prepare that well, although I think I prepared more than they did, because I had like 7 portables with me and I didn't really need to bring that many. And of course, yeah, I mean, this could have easily been prepared better. But overall, we enjoyed the experience. It's not about what you do, it's about the fun that you have. One thing that I wish I had is that I wish that I had the Pokemon Go++, which will automatically catch Pokemon for you. It's a good thing I'm getting that in for the next GoFest, for the upcoming global event. So that I'm gonna be pretty excited for. But honestly, I cannot wait for GoFest Global 2023. I will be doing a vlog video about it, but there's going to be something a little different about this vlog video. All I can say is, make sure to watch that video when that gets released. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on to the next video. Goodbye, everybody.